Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. This is Living Divinity. First, I want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You are my purpose to read these messages from the Bible, from the inspirational decks, from the tarot decks, and hopefully I'm helping you along your way to find who you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to go, how to get your healing, and just becoming whole again after, having a crash here and there, right? We've all done it. We've all been there. It's a tough road when you have to walk the road alone, but it's well worth it when you come out the other side and, you've been able to have this peace and quiet to connect with the divine and hear messages and get your guidance and get your bearings, right? Okay, so first we're going to begin by reading out of the Bible. Let's see. Okay, so I'm at Ezekiel, 2 adulterous sisters. The word of the man came to me, Son of man, there were 2 women, daughters of the same mother. They became prostitutes in Egypt, engaging in prostitution from their youth. In that land their breasts were fondled and their virgin bosoms caressed. The older was named ALOHA, and her sister was Oholibah. They were mine and gave birth to sons and daughters. ALOHA is Samaria, and Oholibah is Jerusalem. ALOHA engaged in prostitution while she was still mine, and she lusted after her lovers, the Assyrians, warriors, clothed in blue, governors and commanders, all of them handsome young men, and mounted horsemen. She gave herself as a prostitute to all the elite of the Assyrians, and defiled herself with all the idols of everyone she lusted after. She did not give up the prostitution she began in Egypt, when during her youth men slept with her, caressed her virgin bosom, and poured out their lust upon her. Therefore I handed her over to her lovers, the Assyrians, for whom she lusted. They stripped her naked, took away her sons and daughters, and killed her with the sword. She became a byword among women, and punishment was afflicted to her. Her sister Oholibah saw this, yet in her lust and prostitution she was more depraved than her sister. She too lusted after the Assyrians, governors, commanders, warriors in full dress, mounted horsemen, all handsome young men. I saw that she too defiled herself. Both of them were the same way. But she carried her prostitution still further. She saw men portrayed on a wall, figures of Chaldeans, portrayed in red with belts around their waist and flowing turbans on their heads. All of them looked like Babylonian chariot of officers, natives of Chaldea. As soon as she saw them, she lusted after them and sent messages to them in Chaldea. Then the Babylonians came to her to the bed of love, and in their lust they defiled her. After she had been defiled by them, she turned away from them in disgust. When she carried on her prostitution openly and exposed her nakedness, I turned away from her in disgust, just as I turned away from her sister. Yet she became more and more promiscuous as she recalled the days of her youth, when she was a prostitute in Egypt. There she lusted after her lovers, whose genitals looked like those of donkeys and whose emission was like that of horses. So you longed for the lewdness of your youth, when in Egypt your bosom was caressed and your young breast fondled. Therefore Aholabah, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I will stir up your lovers against you, those you turned away from in disgust. I will bring them against you from every side, the Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, the men of Pekod and Shoa and Koa, and all of the Assyrians with them, handsome young men, all of them governors and commanders, chariot officers, and men of high rank, all mounted on horses. They will come against you with weapons, chariots, and wagons, and with a throng of people they will take up position against you on every side with large and small shields and with helmets. I will turn you over to them for punishment, and they will punish you according to their standards. I will direct my jealous anger against you, and they will deal with you in fury. They will cut off your noses and your ears, and those of you who are left will fall by the sword. They will take away your sons and daughters, and those of you who are left will be consumed by fire. They will also strip you of your clothes and take away your fine jewelry. So I will put a stop to the lewdness and the prostitution you began in Egypt. You will not look on these things with longing or remember Egypt anymore. Okay, so it seems like Ezekiel 23 goes quite some. Yeah, it's a little bit much to read still. So that was Ezekiel 23:1 through Ezekiel 23:28. So that's quite a tale about what happens when you're having lustful thoughts about money, right? It's probably something we've all experienced, and it's probably something for me. I was always kind of shy, actually, but I did have my little spurt of going here and there. And, I really don't think I should have got married the first time because I think I was too young, but I thought I knew everything. And that in itself caused a lot of problems. And my daughter's father was just the same. We really shouldn't have gotten married so early. We both thought we were in love, and and I can't really explain exactly what happened other than as soon as we got married, it was like he was free to run, which, why would you want to spend so much time with one person, and then as soon as you get married, oh, yeah, she's my wife, I gotta run off this way. Keep her waiting, keep her, keeping her at bay at home, waiting for me to come home, I mean, to me, that's really odd. But anywho, moving forward, let's try to forgive those who have hurt us. Let's try to forgive ourselves for allowing that hurt to enter into our space, right? And figure out how can we combat it the next time that situation arises, and how can we do it out of love and not, like start throwing things, right? Throwing glasses or pots and pans, frying pans. I don't know. Anyways, that's someone who would really really have some anger issues, right? We've all been there, right? We've all had to learn how to control our anger. So when we have love on the forefront, and we address people with that way because we have the love within us for ourselves, we will be able to pick and choose better our next partner, and we will learn to somewhat qualify them, and they can qualify us, like vice versa, right? You qualify each other to see if you guys are a good match, and just leave it as a question date, Let's question each other for the state. Let's see if we can be compatible. And of course, you have to always discern, look into their eyes and see, are they telling the truth? Look at their body language, because if they're looking in your eyes, but they have their body twisted, right? That kind of says, hey, I'm not really telling you everything, But if your shoulders are square and your chin's up and you're looking eye to eye, and you have that feel that that person's telling you the truth. You just have that vibe, right? Because you can read energy. You learn how to read energy as well. So pretty much after you've been through a few times of taking the short end of the stick, you learn how to read people, and you learn how to pay attention to your intuition. So moving forward, everybody, thank you all for being here. I don't even know if I said that. I'm on my second cup of coffee, but without you, I don't have a platform. I don't have a channel. I don't have anything without you and God. Okay, so thank you for being my purpose. Let's thank God for bringing us together, and let's talk about miracles now. I love these cards. They're beautiful. This one says, I don't need to find my purpose. My purpose will find me. Okay, well, I'm not sure how to feel about that. I mean, I guess whatever's for you, whatever's for you, whatever you seek will also seek you. So if you're seeking your purpose in the mental space, right? Oh, I want to be a banker, or I want to be a dancer, or I want to be an actor, or a singer, or a gymnastics. You know, you put it out to the universe. This is the one thing that I'm very passionate about, God. This is the one thing that I really love, God. Can you help me find it? One that's just for me. One that's just my size. One that I can grow, that I can nurture, that I can plant the seed. I can do all these things, check the temperature of the soil, and check the lighting and the moisture, and I can just nurture it into something really beautiful. So in that case, I am in agreement with this. I don't need to find my purpose, because my purpose will find me. Use your imagination. Be out in the open. Get your feet planted. Go hug a tree. Most people kind of know what they like and dislike. So whatever it is that really gets your imagination working, those are the things you want to probably try to focus on and master it in your own way. So as you know, I've done about 400 paintings, and they're all different. Some of them are actually like I did let's see, what did I do? I did my mom. I did I did two of my aunties, and then so it goes Auntie Felicia, my mom, and then my auntie Margie. So if I you got to kind of feel it, right? You just can't just have a photo and say, oh, I'm painting this today. You got to really be feeling it. So I would still need to do my Auntie Lori and my Auntie Annie in that order. But so I've done like some base pictures, and I've done some beach kind of scenes, lake scenes, and then like this one here is just a random kind of, it's actually 3-layered, and I've done a lot of different techniques, and I mixed oil with paint. I've done, and those actually turned out really well, but God gave me the ability, the money, the time to do all of that, and that was part of my healing. So, and then the gift giving was amazing, and I always just give freely when I have something to give, because I know God's going to pay me back. God said, as you give on behalf of, of God, right? If you say, oh, by God's grace, I'm able to make this here, have it. Just take it. I don't want anything in return. Then God, I give God all the glory, right? And then God makes sure that I have all my needs met. And I'm learning that, I really should have learned this lesson a while ago, but I'm human, okay? But I'm learning that anytime I have a need, I need to just tell God. I could be riding in the car. Oh God, by the way, I only have a quarter tank. God, can you make this stretch out till payday? And somehow it does, or somehow some money will come in and I can fill the gas tank up, or whatever it may be. It's the power of your prayer. It's the power of asking for it and then just forgetting about it. Because if you harp God about it, and I don't know, does God understand harping? I'm sure he does, right? So you don't want to just say, hey God, every day, God, remember yesterday I told you I needed this. Why haven't you come through for me? Am I not worthy? You just want to say your prayer once, and you want to let go and let God. He's going to come to you in the right time. God's always on time. It's in his divine time that your ends will be met. Okay, so just have more faith and have more belief in what you've already seen. If you have seen signs where God has helped you, you have to mentally, in your mind, you have to think, well, he came through for me here, he came through for me here, and this happened and that happened, and look where I am today compared to where I was 5 or 10 years ago. I'm in such a better place. My mind's more intact. If you looked at me 5 or 10 years ago, during any time during the day, you would see my hair standing up because I was always in a rush, trying to make ends meet, trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B. And that's like a whole week's time or whatever, right? So a lot of times I was really frazzled and trying to keep a top on my lid. I didn't want to blow my top. So you don't need to find your purpose if you know what your purpose is. And if you don't know what your purpose is, in time you will know, because it's already written in the stars, right? It's already written in the stars what you're going to be doing. It's just like who was it that betrayed Jesus 3 times? Was that Peter? It was already written in the stars. Jesus already knew about the crowing 3 times, or I don't really know exactly how it is in the Bible, but I'm pretty sure it's Peter, but I'm not for sure. But Jesus already knew, because he had the intuition that God gave him the vision. And I kind of feel like Jesus knew everything because God filtered everything to him of how it was going to go from the beginning to the end. Anyways, and maybe possibly when he was up in heaven, when he agreed to come down and be our Savior for the forgiveness factors regarding God and regarding self-love and sacrifice and all the things that Jesus taught the people of his time, and through the Bible still teaching us, right? But what I want to say, so I feel like everything that Jesus already knew. It was like when he was born, probably as soon as he started talking, he already knew what his agenda was. It's not like for me, it took me, like 50 years, 60 years to start getting on my path. And some people who are, say, in Tarot Land, they're in their 20s, I guess I was busy doing other things. I guess I wasn't destined to start this until a later time, whatever the situation was. But I believe Jesus was born. He already knew from day one, these are all the things I need to do. He really paid attention to his intuition. He followed his gut. He just was living in his own little world in this big world and doing everything that God ever asked him to do. But he knew that Peter was going to betray him. Something about the rooster and crowing 3 times. So, do you understand what I'm saying now? We all have a purpose, and when it's our divine time to figure it out, to have it come to us, then it'll come to us. So you don't have to worry about it. You can do your own little research and say, hey, but by the way, I do like planning. I do like gardening. I do like this. I do like that. So, and it's a matter of the process of elimination, you know. When I first started this, I had like 6 ideas I wanted to cram into one. Well, you know, I haven't put those things down per se, but I have, this is what I'm doing. Okay, I'm doing tarot. I wanted to do tarot and like 5 other things. Like, how could I devote myself to you if I'm trying to squeeze in all these other things, right? So I think it's best that I just focus on this one thing, and when I have time, I can do art, I can do jewelry, I can, you know, do other things that I want to try, but I'm not going to rush myself. I'm not going to try to force everything to fit. Okay, your sole purpose, and we have the publisher. The stone is celestite. It's really quite pretty. Okay, the affirmation. I have a strong relationship with the spoken word. I have visions of the bigger picture from an objective standpoint. I have ideas that are worth spreading. Okay, so let me go ahead and read that to you. I'm wondering how long this candle is going to burn, because I'm actually at the bottom, and will it like crack the glass when it's getting really low? Okay, so this is communication. And while I'm looking for it, my dog is totally healed. He's eating, he's playing, he's back to his normal self, and he's 11 now, so he sleeps a lot. But that's okay. Okay, I'm coming up on it here soon. Communication. Oh, publisher. Do you have a flair for literature and the written word? The title publisher refers to the head of a publishing company as well as the whole company. This life path includes editors, those who correct, prepare, and improve the content of the written materials being published. An editor can also be someone who runs and manages a newspaper or magazine. Publishers and editors alike have great vision to decide which books, articles, and overall content are to be published. When the publisher and celestite card appears, and this isn't your current line of work, contemplate if it is time to publish something you're writing or have written. Or perhaps there are musings in your journal that have awakened your awareness to bring forth a vision you've held close to your chest. Celestite, a stone of communication, calls you to be open to sharing your written work. The time has come to share your vision. Celestite's vibe increases your awareness of how you may need to edit and redevelop your writings or visions before the final release. Be sure to continue to improve upon your ideas. I like to work with celestite during the editing process of my books and decks. Keeping celestite nearby helps me stay calm when material I've written is being edited by a series of editors prior to the final publication. It can be a grueling process, but worth every ounce of potential this process offers, because it is during the final editing that the manuscript is perfected and corrected. With celestite in hand, maintain a sense of calm as you look at what needs to be edited in your life. Okay. Next we have mermaid message, and we have contemplation. So is someone contemplating something? Or are they contemplating possibly something that's going on in their life right now? Or are they contemplating something from the past, or trying to look into the future? Who's contemplating in your life? Maybe someone's contemplating about you, or you're contemplating about somebody else. Okay? So it's important to take time out to feel your energy and feel whoever it is you're contemplating with or against, right? I say with or against because sometimes people do contemplate evil against somebody, you know. That's a terrible way to live because that shit comes back to you. Sometimes it's an eye for an eye. Sometimes, you know, God might say, oh, you've been bad, little girl. And guess what? Your punishment is 7 years of bad luck because that's how bad you've been. What have you been doing in the past 7 years? Have you been destructive with yourself and other people around you? Contemplate everything bad that you've done in the past 7 years. And that is what God's going to grant back to you. Can you imagine that? Like, if you knew that beforehand, if you had the inkling of what comes around goes around, you would think twice about being malicious to someone else, right? You would want to share love. You would want to share, like, you know, like if you won the lottery, right? And you won $10,000 and you tipped the waitress or the waiter, whoever helped you with the transaction. You won $10,000, you gave them $100 or $300, whatever. You know, that's good to do, you know. I mean, trying to think. Oh yeah, when I lived in Hawaii, you know, they had the one-armed bandits that they were really illegal, but they had them in some of the hole in the walls, right? And it just said for entertainment purpose, but they really paid out. So anytime I won, I mean, I think one time I won like $800. So I tipped out like $100 to the waitress, you know, maybe $50 each if there were two of them. But anyways, contemplating. What are you contemplating, or who's contemplating against you? Okay, so contemplate your current situation and allow your thoughts and feelings to flow. Use your mind in conjunction with your heart and think things through before making decisions. Enjoying her time in contemplation, this mermaid uses her creativity to look at various outcomes and scenarios. The beauty of this is that it can be a fun and creative process, allowing you to imagine you're experiencing the things you're contemplating without doing anything in physical reality. It's a bit like trying before you buy or commit. This situation calls for you to think deeply, using your wisdom and imagination to arrive at a wholesome solution. Your feelings may be a bit confused right now, and you're prone to follow your heart, which is usually a good thing. This situation calls for you to use your mind in conjunction with your heart and think things through rationally before coming to any decision, especially potentially life-changing ones. Contemplation is a type of meditation, only it entails engaging with your mind instead of trying to stop the thoughts. When you use your mind and heart, wisdom in unison, it's possible to make major decisions in life knowing you've covered all angles and explored several options and outcomes in the safety of your own imagination. Perhaps someone close to you is contemplating their future. Let them know the importance of staying in a positive state of mind when going through this process, as what we project can come into being. So it's wise to be mindful of this as you contemplate and play with the possibilities. Okay, so that's it for that. But I just wanted to say, you know, contemplation, use it for the good, right? That's every book basically says whatever the message is, it's always positive. So I am not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to make you aware that there are those around you that will contemplate against you. They will decide that, you know, you might be talking to a friend and you might be saying, well, you know, I'm really interested in this subject, which is way off to the left field from where this person's thought has been for I don't know, 6 months, 3 years, 8 years, 10 years, 15 years. So say 15 years you're on this path. That's, you're making your bills, you're living life, you're doing some traveling, and you're meeting a lot of people, you're going to clubs, you're entertaining, you're letting people entertain you, whatever it may be. And then you turn around and say, well, I've done this for 15 years of my life. I'm ready for something new. So the people you're telling, you think that they're going to respect your wishes and what you want out of your own life. Meanwhile, they may be contemplating behind the scenes, saying, oh, there's no way Susie's going over there. We're going to keep her right here with us. You know why? Because if she goes over there and makes a better life, then we have to look at ourselves. Why are we still in the same position? If Susie goes over there and it takes her 6 months to elevate, what does that say about us being in the same position? It makes us look lazy. It makes us look like we don't have the qualities within us to do what Susie's doing. And whatever it is, just know if people, I say this just about every reading, if people are not for you, then they're not for you. So, like for me, I think I would try to look at both sides. I would say, well, hey, Susie, if you go over there, you have to consider this. And it could be something positive or it could be something negative. And then I would go further and try to reveal other things that could be positive or negative. But I always tell people, you go where you want to go. And if that's where your heart goes, hey, buddy, I'm all for you. I'm happy for you. I wish you the best. And just let it be, okay? So I don't mean to sound negative. It's just like, I know there's a lot of negative people around us. In these days, it's like you can't get a fair shake unless you're shaking hands when both of your hands are dirty, and it's not even really a fair shake, right? That's kind of where a lot of the world is these days. So next, we're moving forward to the native spirit, and we have the ancient forest. So there's light coming through the forest. It looks like it could be like morning, right? The way the light's shining down. And I guess it could be in the afternoon, but it looks morning to me. Okay, ancient forest. Your roots go deep. Incredible, radiant, healing strength is available to you and grows within you. Do not doubt your abilities. You're so much more than you can possibly imagine. There's immense, unseen, but very real support around you. You are loved and cherished. You are grounded, stable, and strong as your spirit reaches high into the heavens. Your native spirit wants you to know throughout the world, those in indigenous cultures revere what are called the tree people. The powerful life force of trees can bring healing, strengthening, and grounding energies. The kind of tree might vary from culture to culture, but the reverence and gratitude for its beneficial energies are the same. The ancient forest is alive with nature spirits. Additionally, each tree has an individual spirit, especially powerful and resilient. The forest can survive the harshest conditions because of the mutual support of the spirit of the entire forest. Your great strength is silent and deep. It doesn't need to show a force. It just is. Inner power is found through contemplation, reflection, and meditation. Sometimes it comes from times of growth and change. Other times it springs from surviving and conquering painful situations. The journey, adopt a tree. It can be one in your yard or one in a nearby park or wilderness area. Talk to the tree, touch its bark, give thanks, and by doing so, you create an energy connection that will continue to nurture you, no matter how far away you are from the adopted tree. Okay, so regarding your greatest strength is silence and deep. It doesn't need to show a force. It just is. So that passage reminds me of my brother Randy, because he had like an afro. You know, I'm like Filipino, right? So in my sibling thing, we have straight hair, and we have wavy hair, and then we have frizzy hair. Okay, so my brother Randy he was short and stocky. He was like 5'8", very stocky, and he played football like in high school. Like I don't think he was a running back or anything. I think he was like maybe the front line guys. I don't really know, but he was very broad-shouldered, and he was very quiet. So a story he told me was he was walking in the city, and he was wearing his coveralls, and he's like a Harley Davidson dude, and God bless his soul, he's passed away now, but I still, you know, I like to tell good stories about my loved ones. Anyway, so he said, I don't think he had his sunglasses on, but he had I think he had like a bandana on, and he had his black jacket vest thingy, and then he always wore coveralls because they were the most comfortable. So he said he's walking down the road, walking down the main street, right, in whatever town or city he was in. He said he's looking beyond, maybe about a block and a half down in front of him, and he's like, there's a blonde lady, and he's approaching her, and he's just looking forward, and it's like the peely look. It's like when the sun is in your eyes, our eyes are very sensitive, so we look kind of mean, or we might even appear like really pissed off, right, when the sun's hitting us, because we're squinting. Our eyes are very sensitive to the sun hitting our eyes. So he says he's walking towards this lady, and then here's where the street light comes, right? So she crosses over, and then he crosses. So she makes a left-hand turn to cross over, and he's going straight. And then he said he turned around, and then the next street she was coming back to the same side that they were on originally. So basically she walked around him, that his presence was intimidating. So it wasn't really only his looks, because he did hold a certain like, I don't give a shit attitude. This is who I am. He's very genuine, right? But I think it was more spiritually, like she could read his energy saying that he was a very strong person, and for whatever reason she was very intimidated. Let's just leave it at that. But that's a story I like to tell as kind of remembering my brother, because he was the biggest teddy bear, and people judged him when, if they just got to know him, they would have found out, you know, he would do anything for anybody. If you broke down on the side of the freeway and you were his friend, he was not at work, right? If he was just at home, he would come right away, and he would help you save the day. He was just a good-hearted soul like that. So we don't really have a lot of those people around anymore. I mean, you might know some. Unfortunately, I really don't. My nephew, my sister, Tanya's, her middle son has been good to me whenever my car needed to be worked on, and he always kind of saved the day, and it's a blessing to have him in my life. But those are far and few between. So appreciate the ones that are good to you. Appreciate the ones that value you enough to come out, to be there for you, right? To stand up for you, to help you through a difficult time. Okay, next we have Divine Feather. This is the feather, and it is the turkey. So yesterday, I think we had the buzzard. Now we got the turkey. Yeah, we had the vulture last time. So now we got the turkey. Okay. Turkey messenger is most often associated with the gifts of Mother Earth, frequently called the Earth Eagle. Turkey is a large bird that can, in fact, fly. They have a long history of association with spirituality, custom, and ritual. Turkey is symbolic in the U.S. as the offering on Thanksgiving. We express gratitude for the sacrifice of turkey and honor our time of harvest. Turkey feathers have an important place in the mythology of Native Americans and are honored as a symbol of wisdom. Message: Turkey struts in to remind you to acknowledge your bounty and share it with others. The way forward is to use the power of gratitude, sharing, and service to expand and raise your vibration. This messenger represents the bountiful cycles of Mother Earth. Have you forgotten just how blessed you are? See all that you possess, whether it is material, plenitude, or abundance on other levels, and make a commitment to share this wealth. You might do this through volunteering, donating, recycling, or actively creating something to benefit others. You'll find that you will grow richer in all ways through the process. Energies: abundance, gratitude, service. The season is fall. The element is earth. The color is black, brown, and red. Affirmation: I now choose to offer and share my bounty with others. Okay. And turkey, has that thing in it that puts you to sleep. So when you eat a turkey, don't eat too much of it because it'll make you sleep. It does me anyways. Okay, as tasty and juicy as it can be. Alright, so one other note. When it comes to being Thanksgiving, I don't use butter in my stuffing. And I'm going to tell you a secret real quick. So in Hawaii, where we lived, there was a big courtyard, so a lot of the neighbors would get together, and we'd all bring something, right, like the what do you call it, potluck? But I always made the turkey because I don't know, I just always did. But so what I do is I take the you can make your own stuffing, but I just got the bag stuffing. I got the bag stuffing, and I got a can of cream of mushroom soup and a can of, well, you can have like 2 cans of cream of mushroom, or you can mix it. So you can mix like a what is that? The cream chicken soup. But whatever it is, take 2 cans and you open it up and pour it all over your stuffing, and then use that to stuff the turkey. So I also cut up like onions and celery. So when when the people came together, my neighbor brought over a longtime girlfriend of hers, and she says to me, I need your recipe. She's like, you don't understand. I've been on cruises. I've been traveling. I've tried all these different plates of food that that turkey, whatever. She's like, that's the best stuffing I ever had. And I said, I make it that way so I don't eat the butter, because that's a lot of butter. Otherwise, you use like a whole stick and a half of butter to line up your turkey and then put the stuffing in. It's a lot. You're already eating like 1,200 calories by the time you're eating, so anywhere you can cut back. And it really is delicious, but you can choose definitely cream of mushroom, and then whatever other kind of soup you would like to add in it. And that's how I made my stuffing. It turned out really good. It's like my trade secret, right? Okay, next we have animal messages. So now that I've been alone, I haven't really eaten that much Thanksgiving, and I'm okay with it. I'll just buy like a little chunk of turkey, and me and Tombo will, we'll just eat it. I'll have it like on a sandwich, and then I'll give him slices. But when I move to Texas, I will be doing my my Thanksgiving and Christmas for my daughter. Okay, so we're on Cheetah. Okay, here we go. A decision once made will be followed by unwavering action. Cheetah stalks silently with cat wisdom, but pursues her quarry, fleet gazelle, with the power of sight hound magic. What other creature partakes of two natures? Look within to discover a plurality of talents and ways of being, for Cheetah is offering you the chance to be exceptional too. If Cheetah, fastest living mammal, has run into your cards, this is not a time for hesitation. Decision followed by unwavering action is now essential. Like Cheetah, grasp what life has to offer. Beautiful. I see these YouTube videos about people taking in these small little cubs and how they grow up, and it's just like having a little house cat. But wow, their meat bill must be really high, I would say, and then you run the risk of making your animal mad, right? Oh, I'm gonna attack you. I'm mad that you did that to me, or whatever, you know. I don't think I could be comfortable with that. Okay, so I pre-shuffled. We're going to be going on to the Akashic Tarot, but I'm going to do a couple more shuffles here for you, and then we'll see. Now you can see what's at the bottom, but I can't because I'm standing over the cards. But I'll do my cuts and then I'll start pulling cards, okay? So, anyways, there's a lot. I'm not trying to push you away and tell you to go somewhere else. I'm just saying that there's a lot of other readers that I've learned that, you know, their sources are, you know, like their readings are very, very good too. And, well, I'd like to share them with you as we go along. One of the first people I started listening to was Sal's Tarot, which is, he has an, if you just type in SAL''S Tarot, it's something like eat, love, drink, something like that. It's like 3 words. And he's really, I haven't actually seen him in a while. He just popped up on my feed not too long ago, and it's really come a long ways. And I think a lot of people, maybe because he's so like into the merchandise, right? But a lot of them are, you know. But I mean, eventually I'll have some merchandise to sell. So, you know, I don't want to knock anybody. No, I never would. You know, I'm just saying that some people say that he's really into the merchandise, but he's actually very good. He's a very good reader. And I mean, like, I've never met anyone that I thought was a bad reader, to tell you the truth. Maybe that's just me. But this is something I really love to do, and so when you do something that you really love, you can't help but to do well, right? And some people, you know, some people are in their 20s doing it. I'm going to be 62 this year, and I've been studying it for a long time, for like 6 years, and I decided that I'm going to stop holding myself back from this, because I know that God wants me to help people come out of the dark. And, you know, it's kind of like, not that I'm telling you to don't trust someone who's in their 20s doing readings. I'm just saying, for me, I've actually really experienced a lot. So I can just tell you honestly, like, how I came through, and you know, what my prayers were like. How did I learn to pray? You know, a lot of it is is like hidden. My ancestor, my grandma, my mom said she was a very good prayer. She was a very good woman to be around, and she lived by faith, and she lived by her strength. You all know already, she was a crippled little lady that had a lot of strength. She held a lot of authority in her little fingers and in the words that she spoke. And it was always love on the forefront. And she had the best intention for her kids and her grandkids and her great-grandkids, the great-grandkids she was able to know, And even her grandkids, not all of them did she really get to know because they moved away, Their parents moved them away for some time. I was really blessed to have my grandma for the first, 11 years of my life. That they say the first 5 or 7 years is the most, the most important growing of what you learn, family values and stuff, But I really got all that from my mom, from my grandma, and my mom just did the best she could. She had all the kids, She had a lot of kids. I just, to this day, don't know how she made ends meet, and it's by God's grace. Okay, so let me do a little cut, and we'll see what's at the bottom. But I kind of feel I want to do one more. Hold on. One more, and then we'll start pulling the cards and reading them. Okay, what's at the bottom? Clearing the way. This speaks of a husband and a wife taking this little main road to go to their house way in the distance. And they find that a tree has toppled over and he has his axe in hand. And it's saying that if he does it really hard, like if he's trying to force it really hard, that there could be a mishap. Who knows, the head of the hammer could fall off and it could bounce and it could hit his wife, right? Could be any kind of catastrophe like that, or he could hit it hard and then it could scare the horse and the horse could run them over. Those are some pretty harsh things, but it does say don't do things too hard or too rash because bad things can happen out of that. At the same time, don't do it so light that you're not making way. So you have to find like your happy medium in a situation and keep clear-headed about anything that's out of the norm. All right, so let me start pulling off the top. We have the light of the world. Major Arcana 10. And the last reading we got a 10 and a 20, I think. And I can't remember if it was this deck or but I remember a 10 and a 20. Okay, so this one, I'll read it for you. An old sage holds a glowing lantern and knocks on a door with no latch. A young man inside is too distracted to answer the knock. Your divine being is trying to get your attention. All it takes is a moment of your awareness to open the door. Though your life may be busy, the opportunity now presents itself for you to move into a higher awareness. It's a great time to open to your higher self and all its wisdom and powers. It is your soul, your eternal being, who approaches, but it's up to you, and only you, to open the door. You do that by taking real and regular action and knowing and feeling the wise and radiant being you are forever. Through meditation and study, you can own that enormous love, power, and vision. You can make every day sacred by going within. Once you do, you will know a radiant and greater power in every step and with every word. You will be able to bring forth this magnificent force to your world, changing your life forever. With a deep breath, you feel yourself with the grace and peace and light of your higher self. Your vision opens to a wider universe, and you realize that you have all the time and power in the world. Eternity fills you. Isn't that beautiful? Next, another major arcana, and it's 10, then 11. Okay, so, you know, I hate to repeat what other readers say, but in this case, I can't make it up. You saw me do the shuffle. The 10 and the 11. That's, what's the statistics? Excuse me. Excuse me. 62 cards. What's the statistics that those two cards can come up after a whole bunch of shuffles? As well as when I am doing my shuffle, because see how crooked my thumb is? I don't actually shuffle. I'll like have this separated like this. I don't want to mix them up. So see, I have them like this, right? I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll, I'll do that for a little bit, and then sometimes I'll put them together like this, and then I'll cut them and then split them up like that. So what are the possibilities that you can get 10 and 11 in there? You'd have to be one of those statistics, the actuators, is that what they're called? I don't know. It's those people that do analogies, right? What's the probability of getting a 10 and the 11 right after it out of a 62 card group? The explanation is, God is here with the reading, and we don't have any control. It's all God. God has all control over everything that's in our lives. And we choose that, right? We choose to have our will to be God's will, because that's the only way that we can be safe and have safe passage and make sure that everybody that we love, that God's helping us look after them, and we're putting a blanket of God's grace. All of those things are real. Just it takes a while for some people to see it, including myself. Okay. So, the Ark of the Covenant. The stars are shining on a serene desert night. Fires burn before a number of white tents. Inside one of the tents, just beyond the open front flaps, rests the Ark of the Covenant. 2 men sit by a crackling fire nearby. At the most mundane level, this card can represent a beneficial legal contract or title transfer. It can also show successfully working with professionals such as brokers and lawyers. More often, it indicates that you are living true to your own karmic contract, facing your lessons of growth, working toward greater discoveries, and bringing your unique contribution to the world. Your karma does not rule you, you rule it. When the work becomes too great, take a rest. Doesn't break with your covenant, it supports it. You understand the phases of time and energy, and you work within 2 phases. Some of your karmic directives at this time may involve other people. If so, make sure there is no urgency, need, or personal agenda in play. Do not let yourself get pulled into an emotional drama. Know that the things that require your attention now reflect a commitment that has a far-reaching influence that may impact your present as well as your future lives. So, continue to work toward your highest purpose to uphold the sacred covenant you have to touch the world with your light. Close your eyes and imagine the Ark of the Covenant opening before you. Within it, you see the contract that contains your highest purpose. What is that purpose? Since one word and one action you can take today to pursue it. Okay, next. We have 21. So we go from 10 to 11. 10 and 11 is 21. So there's a message here. This Uriel and the Sphinx, this talks about you as an individual. You have to open up your heart. You have to go down deep. You know, how many times do you have to go in deep to try to figure out who you are, where you're supposed to go, what you have done, how it's impacted your life, how to move forward, how to shine your light. Okay? Shine your light. It's your purpose. Okay? So Uriel and the Sphinx. I'm going to read it to you, but I basically told you everything in a couple sentences what this one means. It's going within you deep, trying to figure out where you're supposed to be and what is your purpose and what do you need healing in. Okay, here we go. The Archangel Uriel stands before the Sphinx under a full moon. The Sphinx is usually shown with the body of a lion, indicating strength, and the head of a king, showing authority and intelligence. But more than this, the Sphinx represents the enigmatic and inscrutable, the silent holder of truth and the ancient mysteries of the world. Here, the Archangel Uriel connects and confers with this great source of mystery. This card shows that it's time for you to do the most important and possibly the most difficult work in your life, the digging and inner discovery that takes you to your deepest self and your deepest power. Even the great Sphinx had to be dug up many times from the blowing desert sands that buried it up to its neck, and you must dig diligently too. You may have to chip away at the rock-like substance of your old beliefs and history so that you can get to the truth inside. But do not worry, you have begun already and you've made considerable inroads. There's also someone here to help you, Uriel, whose name means fire of God. You can work directly in your meditations with this archangel for self-understanding, transformation, and guidance. Also be on the lookout for someone in your daily life whom Uriel has sent. This could be a teacher, a mentor, or even a new friend who shares a kinship with you about this inner quest. It's a relationship of great value that comes in time of profound power. Do not diminish the importance of this phase. It is the work that leads you to your initiation and to your higher power. Sense the Archangel Uriel approach you and send his energy into you. Take a deep breath and feel yourself fill with the desire to carve out a new life for yourself. Let this force and purpose dwell within you. With them, you can blast away the old and create the new life in every moment. So we have 10, 11, 21. I would say that's certainly a real solid synchronicity. Next, we have the Eight of Forces, the lightning bolt. Let me read it for you. Eight of Forces. A lightning bolt illuminates a stormy night, striking a tree down to its core. Puddles of rain pull upon the ground. This card shows it's a time of splitting apart, a time of loss, disappointment, or even a metaphorical death. You may be feeling wounded, grieved, or gravely disappointed. The loss could be a career opportunity, romantic relationship, partnership, creative project, or a friendship. At first glance, the event may seem sudden or unexpected, but in the light that flashes, we see the deep puddles of a storm that has been going on for some time. You've probably been aware of the threat or the difficulty at some level, even if you were unwilling to acknowledge it before. Now, it's time to accept the situation and not fight what's so. There is benefit coming, but it is often taking an ending to bring forth a new beginning, and a storm to cleanse the field. Imagine a lightning bolt strike nearby, leaving some destruction in its wake. Now close your eyes and with a deep breath, feel the energy of lightning stir within you. It's almost as if the finger of God is yours to employ. How do you want to direct this energy in your life? So are you needing to cut something off? Are you needing to address the situation, you know. I mean, that message could be for me. Do I need to cut something off? Do I need to go through the process of having the disappointment and moving forward and forgetting everything in the past? Am I supposed to hold on to faith of what God promised me, that what is for me will be for me? We all have these different questions, and we have to use our intuition, and we have to, pray about it. We have to ask God to reveal it to us in His divine timing, and we have to stand in faith that, the answer will come in divine timing. And I suppose if you are feeling in your gut feeling this is really truly the right thing to say or do, then maybe you should just go ahead and do that. Anything I think that is addressed with love on the forefront can't be wrong. Like, it might be like, for example, go on, you want to go out there. For example, if I felt a certain way about somebody, okay, if that person really didn't feel that way about me, but if I went to him with the intention of love, I probably would say something like, look, if you don't feel the way that I feel, just please tell me so I can just move on. But this is the way I feel about you. I want you in my life. I want to get to know you. I want to spend time with you. I want to do this. I want to do that. Whatever it is for you, okay? But I can't see where someone would just start yelling and screaming at you. I don't see that happening to anybody. Unless that person's going through something really difficult, but they can't or don't know how to share it with you, or maybe they don't have time to share it with you. And that's the only way that I could see anyone going to someone and saying, look, I love you. I want to be with you. I want to get to know you. I'm sorry what happened in the past. I'm sorry that, we broke things off 20 years ago. I want you back in my life. You're my daughter's mother. Or I don't know if that would ever happen, to tell you the truth, because he's actually remarried. I was using that as a something from the past coming back, okay? And I'm just saying, if he came to me with the attitude of love, I could never yell at him and tell him to go screw himself and that's just not me. But I guess if I was going through a bad thing at the time when that would be presented to me, there's a possibility, I guess, that I could be that mean to him, but I just don't think I could do it myself. So let's move forward. That's our next card, the initiation of Count Saint Germain. So the 4 people with the robes are going through the initiation. So maybe soon you will be going through your initiation. And it's an initiation of taking your path and taking your journey very seriously. It's about honoring, Saint Germain, honoring your commitment, honoring to God, honoring to yourself, honoring to the people that you're going to be speaking to, that your messages will be as true as they come from your heart, okay? Not any BS to keep you on the hook, not any... I'm going to tell you half the story, come back tomorrow, I'll finish the rest, and then you have to go home and make up the rest, right? To be your true, authentic self is probably the best requirement that anybody could ask, right? Okay, standing among the pillars with a beautiful temple, within a beautiful temple, the Ascended Master, Count Saint Germain, sends his light and energy to the 4-robed people who stand before him. It's time for their initiation. This card represents your initiation. It is much more than a change or even a transformation. It's nothing less than the movement into a higher revelation of power, insight, and achievement. And the time is now. Some loss of lower vibration relationships, jobs, or activities may be required in order to lift you to the new heights and power that await you. Your initiation can be aided by meditation and study, as well as by connecting to the Ascended Masters with whom you have worked for centuries upon centuries. Know that you have shared purposes and activities with the Masters, even if you aren't certain of what they are yet. The disciplines you create now during your initiation and the work you do with the Masters will lift your service to the world and to all of mankind. This is a time of enormous uplifting, first in your energy and evolution, then in your manifest outer reality. The power that you hold within will impact every part of your life. Close your eyes and see yourself on the path of your initiation with the Count Saint Germain beside you. Feel your energy and receptivity heighten as your vibration quickens, realizing there are no limits or hindrances. What is next for you? Congratulations. Let's see what's next. Oh, Caught in the Ruins, another major arcana. So we go 10 to the 11 to the 21. Now we go 14, 15. Or 14, 16, I'm sorry. Still to have, how many cards have we done? Done 2, 4, 6. We've done 6 cards, and all of them are major arcana. Now, you can believe it or you can not believe it. It's up to you to, decipher, right? Is this girl pulling our leg? Is she trying to trick us, or are these actual messages that are coming out because God is present with us? I hope you're choosing this second, okay? Because I don't mess around with God. He don't play with me, and I don't play with him, right? The higher you elevate, it's like the more protection you get. It's not like you can't do bad because you're just up there, right? But what happens is, this is what happens. Like, I got this little group that's always attacking me, right? The truth is, and if they are watching me, then, whatever they think or feel is on them. But the truth is that I am on a level. I'm sure there's other tarot readers that are on a much higher level. I'm not here to judge anybody else. I'm just telling you for me. I'm on a level to where God really likes that I'm following his guidance, right? I really believe that I'm saying that the things I'm saying is from him, and those are the words that he wants me to use. Okay? So, with that said, if I'm doing everything God's asking me to do you really think he's going to let people who have bad intentions hurt me? And do you really think he's going to allow that to continue on and on? So, I know I've mentioned it before, as you elevate, it's the less prickly you feel, right? When people are attacking you energetically. Now I'm just at a level where it feels like, that's what it feels like. Except for it's could be all over the top of my legs or on my arms. Kind of like that. See my nail? That's what it feels like. It's nothing like it was 4 years ago, okay? When I was still on the island, and energetically they were a lot closer to me. But the thing I want to tell you is, those that have been attacking me, everything that they are praying for me to happen to me is going to happen to them. And they very well might be in that process now. Then the other thing is, every time they try to give me a gain weight spell and it goes back to them, or I want her face to have blemishes, it goes back to them. I want her face to age. I want her butt to drop down sag like a old lady's. I want her breast to fall like a old lady's. God's going to give me all the opposite. Okay, so that's why I'm 62 almost, and people mistake me for as young as 38 up to around like 40-ish, right? Like up to 45. So I'm already, God promised me that when I got on this path, He'd give me all the years back. He's given me all the years back. But now I get to enjoy my life as if I was 38 or 40. But I also have the ability to have my freedom. You know, I don't have to be on a work schedule. I don't have to, you know, I can have time to focus on myself. So with all this said, you know, we let the negative talk bad about us. We don't even care. Go ahead, talk about me. Every time you talk about me, God's going to bless me more. Every time that you say bad things about me, God's going to bless me more. And He has. So I learned to ignore when I hear that they're saying things about me. And the thing is I really feel bad for their children, because they probably don't even know this, is that when you're in a situation and you're choosing to go against one of God's people, you know, sometimes God doesn't give it back to you. They might give it back to your children or to your mother or to someone very close to you, so you can watch them go through all this pain that you're trying to inflict on someone else. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you have a daughter, like, okay, I have a daughter, right? If I spent my time inflicting negativity on Geraldine, okay? Geraldine, you know, you do this bad and you do that bad, you look this way and you look that way. I should be minding my own business, but my job, my personal job to make me happy is to be all in your business. All the time I'm cutting down Geraldine, I could be working on myself. God sees all of this. He sees that when I talk about Geraldine, but then yet I come to Him, oh God, I'm sorry I talked about Geraldine yesterday, Lord. I'm really sorry. I just want to move forward in the most positive way. Please forgive me. You know, when you ask God to forgive you, right, you kind of, if you're in the right heart space, you kind of assume that God's forgiven you, and maybe He is. But then you go back and you say, oh, Geraldine, look how you're dressed. Look at those shoes you're wearing. Look at your hair. Like, it's not anything up to date as to what's going on in the world today. I just want to let you know that you're looking kind of a little dusty, you know. So when you went to God and you asked for forgiveness, you just went back and started doing the same thing. So God already knows. When you asked, it wasn't in your heart. He knew that it wasn't in your heart. But he had to hear you say again how you're trying to hurt someone else who's minding their own business to benefit how you feel and what's lacking in you. So what God might do is He might take all the punishment that belongs to, you know, if I'm the one that I'm doing, take all the punishment that belongs to me and then give it to my daughter. And then I have to be around to watch her suffer through everything that I made this lady suffer through, right? So we have to be mindful of what we say and how we act. And like I say, if they want to watch this video and they'll learn something, if they want to believe it, then maybe they can make a change. But chances are they probably don't even really believe in God. They probably think that they're better than God, they're higher than God. I actually heard people say, I'm God. What? You think there's another God somewhere? I'm God. You know, I control what's going on in this area right here. This is my area. This is my world. Just because someone's a boss, I mean, like how arrogant, right? But that's not for me to say. My job is to focus on me. My job is to give a good reading. My job is to be honest when I'm pulling these cards, to give you my best reading, right? I'm reading out of the book, so how can I go wrong? And then all of you interpret it, how it applies to your life, whether it applies or not, and then you keep it moving, right? So just be mindful of the people around you. And if it's not the people around you, maybe it's you. You know, be mindful of the words that come out off your lips, the thoughts that come off your brain. Are they positive? You always want to just stay positive. And the other thing is people who steal your energy. I don't know all the different ways. I know, like, if I'm with Jack and Jack wants my energy, he'll do something that insults me. You know, he might smack me on my butt, or he might try to rub across my chest, or he might say something rude. You know, he might enter my space, you know, so that I get pissed off at him and I jump out of character. When I jump out of character, then he takes all my energy. He takes my good energy, and then I'm left with his nasty, crappy energy that I have to go home and cleanse and meditate and clean and do all this spiritual cleansing to get back to normal, call back my other energy from him and ask that it's cleaned and purified before it's entered into my body, my soul, my mind. And so it's best to not let people trigger you, not to share your energy with people who just want to use and abuse you. Okay? So let me move forward. I'm getting kind of winded, actually. Okay, and that's my own fault. All right, caught in the ruins. In the ruins of a medieval castle, there is an old prison. The bars are still intact, but there is no roof over the room, and vines grow over the stones. A man and a woman are inside, seated on old stools. A beautiful green forest grows to the left, while the castle ruins extend to the right. This card shows a dark or difficult situation that seems to have you trapped. It could be a hurtful, empty relationship, an unhappy or stultifying job, a behavior or actual addiction, or even a negative, sabotaging belief system. It has held you captive for some time, and may have even begun in some past lives, but there is a way out, as there always has been. It just takes some effort and determination on your part. Even these limiting situations and actions are strong. They are self-imposed. The courage and strength required to change lie within you. You must change each faulty belief and every sabotaging choice as they happen. If you do nothing, you will perpetuate your attachment to this dark situation. Like the crumbling castle, negative choices could stand for a long time to come. Do not let the ruins of your past ruin your future. You have the power to climb out now. Okay, there's a little bit more to read here. Let's see. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so mind, body, and soul. Keep it healthy, keep it clean. Always be nice, don't be mean. I just made that up, but it's like keep yourself close to God. Energetically, physically, spiritually, right? In every way that you can stay close to God. And God will always protect you. He won't let harm come to you. It's the safest place in the whole universe to be. Think of one thing in your life that holds you back and sabotages your success and joy. It may feel like a dark prison, but you already have the key. Fill yourself up with love and self-honoring, and see yourself taking your next step to freedom. Freedom is ringing, people. We have 6 cards, and 5 of them are major arcana. Let's see what's next. 2 of Roses, winged message. So this speaks about a teacup on the table, fallen over. A couple birds coming in to give a message, and there's like a hawk. Let's see, and the roses I think has to do with love. I think I checked the actual book. It didn't give a separation of these. Okay, like the scrolls would be, the scrolls is like, to me, would be like the air ones, because you'd be reading them. And then the roses is like the love. And what else do we have? The forces would be like the wands. And then the other one, what is the other one? The keys. I don't know. It's really confusing for me to separate it that way. That's why I just keep reading them. Okay, winged messengers. A white dove carries a message in its beak and flies high over a table laid out for tea. One of the teacups has fallen over, and there are broken pieces of china on the table. Below the dove, a hawk flies into the scene with a message in its beak. This card indicates a small conflict in your home or family. It could involve you or another or others in your extended family. There could be money issues about the home, an inheritance, or personal finances. The dove brings a message from your spirit, a call to see this little drama through your higher mind and a compassionate heart. You may feel compelled to be the peacemaker or the provider in this situation. Let yourself do as your spirit guides you. The hawk, a predator, shows that there are times when you might have a tendency to be pulled into the fray yourself. With the hawk entering from the right, it certainly indicates that more challenges may be coming your way. Happily, your spirit is high above those challenges, so you can see them clearly and deal with them effectively. With a deep breath, bring your focus within you and feel the brilliant, pure white energy of your higher self. As you fill with a sense of this radiant being, invite a message from your spirit about any personal concern that lies before you at this time. Whether you get a word, a feeling, or an image, let yourself receive the message immediately. And it does say pay attention to the next card. So here we go, folks. Okay, fated meeting. So now we have 8 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 6 of them are major arcanas. So, I would say this is a very spiritual reading. God is here with us and He's giving us a lot of good messages. What are you all going to do with these messages, with this information? Are you going to ask for more confirmations? Are you going to ask for more synchronicities? Or are you going to just follow your heart? That would be your... and your last choice would be doing nothing. So you either pay attention and make some action off of these that are for you, right? Take action. You ask God for more synchronicities, no more confirmations. You do nothing, or what would be your last choice? You take action, you do nothing, you ask for confirmation, or I don't know, whatever the fourth option for you would be. I don't know. I know it took me a long time to take the leap of faith, but sat up in my bed one night, I said, all right, God, I'm ready to take the leap of faith. And I said it just like that, except for a little bit slower. And all the doors started opening, one by one. Okay, so let's see, if it could happen for me, it could happen for you. Okay, and it did happen to me, so know that it can happen for you. All right, here we go. A clock tower stands at it with its hands pointing to just a few minutes before 12. A man and a woman approach each other, coming to meet at the time that was predetermined by the higher selves who are shown above them, translucent and shining. With this card, you are coming to a very important relationship in your life. Either it is entirely new or an existing relationship is being lifted to a much higher experience. Karma from your past lives may have brought you two together, so it's important for both of you to stay alert. Keep your individual and collective growth a priority and act with deference and compassion to yourselves and each other. If you both honor your karmic course, this could be one of the highest relationships you can know. This card can also show a fated meeting with another about a work situation, a creative project, or an important purpose that you hold. This too is likely karmic. Perhaps it's a past life publisher, a spiritual teacher, a brother, or a sister. Whoever this is, it's a powerful and promising relationship, so get ready, it's almost time. Take note to the next card, and take note to the prior card. So a message was coming in, right? And now it's a baited meeting, so we'll try to pull one more card. Take a deep breath and fill yourself with the expectation of someone special coming. Feel the excitement of this important approach. It's someone to know, to hold, and to help you. This person is almost here. Next card, the King of Scrolls. Okay, let's see. It's an hour and 30, so this is going to be our last card, and I'm going to close it up. Are you the King of Scrolls, or is the King of Scrolls here for you? Put it in how it fits. If it doesn't fit, then it doesn't. The King of Scrolls could be male or female. This is just the energy of the card. A man holds a scroll as he looks across a well-groomed garden. A number of scrolls lay on the garden bench next to him. He is the King of Scrolls, a man of learning, and he can be helpful to you in a number of ways. This man may present in your life already. If not, you'll be meeting him soon. He may be an author, teacher, or communicator who will assist you in some professional way. He could be also a friend who brings wisdom through his own studies and spiritual practices. Be open to the guidance this man offers, for it could help lead your life into exciting new directions. Okay, so it's asking about the queen. If the queen was to show up, the queen's all faced that way and the king's faced that way. So it would resonate that if the queen came up, there would be, let's see, a love interest depending upon the location. Wisdom, compelling, and there are likely many interests and lively discussions. Okay, this card may also represent you or someone you know who is longing for deeper understanding and a greater clarity of thought. Now is the time to pursue new interests, perhaps even enroll in some classes or attend a lecture or two. A position of teaching, counseling, advertising, writing, publishing, or the like may be on the agenda now. A treasure trove of discovery is waiting for you, so let your mind and your life soar. Take a deep breath and pull in the energy of the King of Scrolls. Feel yourself fill up with a new sense of wisdom and heightened communication. Your mind and your vision grow with the power of the King of Scrolls. Is there something you'd like to learn? Okay, I just want to look at the next three cards, okay? Up in the air, we know what that means. That means they're really, even though, I mean, you guys might be together, right? And you want to know what the future holds. Some things are not known yet. Some things are not able to be known yet because it hasn't happened, okay? Because we all have free will. Next, the ascent. Someone has climbed. They've used all their energy, not all their energy, they have the strength and the courage to climb this peak so they can overlook from a higher perspective. And then Archangel Michael. So here we are. How many cards do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Out of 12 cards, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You probably could ask any tarot reader, have they ever seen 8 major arcanas out of a 12 card pull? I can probably tell you that the answer might be not really, but it's right here today for you guys folks. So real quick, let me put out my candle, and then I'm going to do the clock thingy. Okay, it's 1:41. 1:41 in the afternoon. Let's see what that angel number by Joanna has to say. Joanna Scribes. Oh, it says 141 is the centered pentagonal number. First 13 positive integers, and the 6 whatever, I don't know, hexagon kind of thing. Okay, so I gotta type in angel number still. Okay, it's a reminder to focus and nurturing. Okay, I'm looking for, here she is, Joanna, sacred numbers. Angel 141 is a combination of the vibrations and energies of number 1 and number 4, and the number 1 appearing twice doubled, strengthening its influences. Number 1 brings initiative and instinct, tenacity, and striving forward, new beginnings, achievement, and success. Number 1 encourages us to step out of our comfort zone and reminds us that we create our own realities with our beliefs, thoughts, and actions. Number 4 adds effort and will, patience and persistence, realistic values, ability and stability, service and devotion, practicality and responsibility, building solid foundation, and achieving positive results. Number 4 also relates to our passion and drive and resonates with the energies of the archangels. 141 is hard work and initiative, practical thinking, instinctual number or knowledge, construction, success, and achieving abundance. Let's see. 141 is a prompt from your angels to take the time out and make the effort to connect and communicate with the angels as they want your attention. It is a message that you are to stop feeling stress, anxiety, and worry over your financial situation and issues, as these negative emotions and energies block the flow of supply and abundance in your life. Focus upon positive affirmations and visualizations, intentions, and prayers to manifest your desired outcome. Give your worries over to the angels to transmute and heal, and trust that the work you've been doing will have long-term rewards. Angel number 141 is a message that your past efforts will bring about the results you have worked so hard for. Angel number 141 indicates that angels are available to assist you with positive thoughts, wishes, and desires, and the angel counsels you to make thoughtful and meaningful wishes at this moment. It is a message to remain very aware of your recurring thoughts as they are being manifested into your life. Angel number 141 also encourages you to put your ideas into action. Trust yourself and your inner promptings and begin that new venture or project. Your will and effort will bring about the desired results that you work towards. Well, Joanna, with the angel numbers, that was an awesome reading. So I hope that you all found things that you could take home with you. I hope it resonated with you. Whichever parts did not resonate, do not force them in. And remember, keep positive mindset. If a negative thought comes into your mind, say, that's not me. That someone else is sending that to me. I don't want that to be a part of my life. I want positivity in my life. So, shoo fly, go away, right? Shoo fly, go away. And the power of your words, the power of your thoughts, you will manifest what you want in your future. So moving forward, that's the end of the reading. Again, take what is for you, put the other to the side, and the things that are negative that come into your mind, it's shoo fly, go away. Thank you all. You are my purpose, and I'm blessed to have all of you. And let's thank God, and don't forget to read the prayer down below. And I'll see you on the next time. And do that other stuff if you feel like it, And I'll talk to you later. Aloha. Bye-bye.